Welcome back. Well, there you have some of the challenges of live broadcast. Well, we're still looking at the focus on the NESG. Mr. Onyechere is still here with us. We already having some response concerning what you said about ASU being on strike and then the other colleges of education. Well, some are also saying it's practically the same thing. Well, while ASU was on strike, they were also drawing salaries. And so they don't seem to understand why people are miffed about those of the polytechnics and colleges of education and not about ASU.
Well, there's a little bit of difference. When ASU was on strike, during the period they were on strike, they were not drawing salaries. I think they were paid the arrears of salaries after the strike. And it was part of the things that was negotiated as part of the end negotiation that people's salary should be paid, should not be withheld, and so on and so forth. So for that 5-6 months, they were not drawing salaries. But the difference here is that at the end of each month, the lecturers that are on strike now in colleges of education go draw their salary and go back and sit down.
Okay.
The next month they draw, the next month they draw. That is, I think that is where the public is looking at the difference.
Right. Let's get back to what you raised, because I'm not sure it has been raised at the summit as of yet.
Okay.
Because who knows, it may pop up because the summit continues.
Yeah.
You talked about this, what they call sorting in our tertiary institutions, and it's eroding that reading culture. In fact, yesterday we had a guest who did say it's important that parents instill that reading culture in their wards. Yeah. Let's talk a little more about this. I mean, how do we begin to curb it, for instance?
Yeah, okay, first of all, we look at what is actually happening. And the way it is that some of these lecturers will levy some kind of levy. I mean, some money the students will pay. Sometimes collectively, sometimes they just levy the whole class, sometimes individually. And when you don't pay this money, your script will suddenly get lost. Either you don't pay the money, or you don't sleep with the lecturer, or you don't launch his car, or change his tire, or whatever.
Really?
These happen?
Yes, it's happened. Even it has gone beyond. Some of them, there's the issue, even the issue of sex. Some of the lecturers will now say that, look, you will go hire the hotel room, the girl will go hire the hotel room. It's a very terrible thing, it's a very dangerous thing, and you see, because we need to look at it. The girl will be forced to go and hire the hotel room. Some of them, some of the very wicked ones will demand for big stout and say, look, we need to throw a Viagra into the deal and so on and so forth. It's a terrible thing. And you need to hear some of this lecture. You know, why do we know about this? Because our organization now, a lot of students come to us because we have this group we call exam. In addition to examinative marshal, we have examinative students in institutions, students who are bold enough, who can say no, and so on, and we are helping them. Now, you ask a question, how do we stop it? One of the best ways to stop it is to empower the students, because the students are the only people that can say, this is the lecturer that is doing this. And what we are trying to do now is that we are creating a network of these students, so that they can have a platform and a voice to speak out. One of the problems one of the things that prevents some students from talking is the fear of blackmail, the fear of victimization. Because you see, the thing is so widespread, and there's a network, there's a syndicate. If you are complaining about one lecturer, another lecturer might even victimize you, and so on and so forth. So we are trying to create a network of examinative students across the country. And in fact, as a matter of fact, right here in this hotel, on the 23rd of May, we are going to bring about 2,000 students. We are bringing students from the 357 tertiary institutions in this country to be able to work on this matter, to be able to tell them, work on communication, work on social media and so on, so that even when you are afraid within your institution to talk about it, you talk to my organization about it, and we take it up.
So you have to see how you can protect the identity, for instance.
Oh, yes, sure. You have to protect the identity. But you see, the important thing is to curb the level of impunity. There's too much impunity that is going on. And if somebody knows that something has a cost, something has a consequence, there'll be a little bit of fear. But as it is now, if you find out, if for example, you have children in schools, The children will clearly ask you, after you collecting money for school fees and all that, they will ask you money for settling this and that and so on and so forth. It's a terrible thing. But we're working on it.
Well, I'm glad that you say you're working on it because we, in moving forward, these things have to be stopped.
Exactly.
And we don't know if your body has actually had cause to approach some of these school authorities and see that some of those complaints can be addressed. Have you met with
Oh
any?
yes, oh yes, we're working. We're working. I'll give you two examples. I'll give you two examples. One is we started working with Federal College of Education in Hamufu about 2011 and so on. And Professor Mba, the provost of the school, put his leg down, stopped this nonsense about stop the issue. In fact, that college, by the time that college was not able to do their convocation ceremony for 7 years because the results were not ready. The results couldn't be ready. And this professor was able to do something about it. We worked with him, and he established a major exam ethics framework, the students, the marshals, and so on. But I can tell you, it comes with a lot of cost. The man nearly lost his life because he got kidnapped. I'm sure you may have heard about it. He was kidnapped and kept in the bush for four days. His elderly was shot, was assassinated, and in fact, he was supposed to be assassinated, and so on and so forth. But the man, by the grace of God, because he's also a reverend gentleman, and I'm sure God was with him. And when he came out, he said, "Look, for this fight, I must continue, even if I'm going to die on it. I must continue." And by the grace of God, he's in this. So we are working. If you go to Ihamufu now, and we cite it as an example, you will not hear anything. You will not. This certain thing is almost gone. Now the second one is Federal. What is it? Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike. We just last month, we just inaugurated their own exam ethics marshal and their own exam ethics student. And the same thing is happening in that institution. So it is a matter of leadership.
But don't you think some students will love such kind of lifestyle, that kind of, you pay and you get your examination or you get your marks?
Fine, sure, yes.
So if you have to get any kind of resistance, it will be from those who are from the student angle and some of those who participate in such crime.
No, let me tell you something. I've been in this business for about 18 years. I started this campaign for 18 years, and I've done nothing more with my life. I don't play politics. I don't do contracts. This is all I do. But I'll tell you something. Where our strength is, you see, it's very, very difficult for these guys doing this thing to come out into the open and say we are perpetrators of exam malpractice or we are supporting it and so on. You know, they sneak around, but they do it with impunity. People see them doing it and so on. But those people who can stop it have the opportunity, they have the moral high ground. They can stay and shout and say, this is bad. And that is what we are trying to do. Because you see, there are three groups of people in every institution. One is the people that is perpetrating, first of all, people that are promoting best practices. You know, a number of it. Then you have the perpetrators of malpractices and academic dishonesty, which has become a syndicated racket. But the most dangerous group is the people that are keeping silent. There is a conspiracy of silence. You know, you are not involved, but you are seeing your colleagues are doing it. You go to the meetings, you go to the committee meetings, you head of department and so on. Every person knows who is doing it. Do you understand? But the courage to speak out, the voice to speak out, and that's what part of my organization is doing. We're trying to give people voice. We're trying to say, look, this small group of people cannot destroy our education system. We can tell them to stop.
Right.
And that's what's going on.
You've got some very interesting practical experience in terms of what really is going on wrong and perhaps how it can be corrected. So one is wondering, are you likely to submit any memorandum, paper, documents to this NERG summit as part of ways or kind of things, suggest things that can be changed to improve our education system?
We're going to submit, I'll talk with there are documents that we have. We were not listed, yes, you can see in the program, but we came here very prepared. On the issue of accreditation, we have a position on the issue of sorting, on the things that can, and on the examples that have already been done. Do you understand? On things that have been done in Federal University, I mean, Michael Okpara University, Federal College of Education, and some other institutions, not only those ones, what they have done and the result that have been achieved. Because we see a situation, we track it. We know the number of students that get sanctioned. The Senate committees on exam malpractice, you know, they sit, they publish, they sanction. So when you do a trend analysis, you will see whether a program is working or not, and it's working. And we are going to submit some of these things. And incidentally, I'm happy that there are some of the committees, breakout committees, that are going to focus on some of these things. And that's what I'm saying. In this kind of summit, we must be able, in addition to addressing the overriding issues, we must be able to address some of these practical things, some of these current realities that is actually very, very worrisome.
All right, let's add this on before we wrap up. I mean, there's a mail from Chidi Okafor who says some of the irregularities he's referring to are wrongly spelled name and photo error. You have the pictures of someone else embossed on your certificate, and this is really serious, as a matter of fact. Okay.
No, well, you see, those things, you find that you will find in some of the universities we work with, find that a lot of the students, you know, Suleiman, you raise a very important issue. A lot of students, because of what is happening, a lot of students have lost interest in hard work, in scholarship, and all that. So you find there are people, there are students, male and women students in this country now, who will not have sat down in any exam hall, but they still get degrees.
Wow.
Yes, I'm telling you. They're in Dubai, they're in London, they're training and so on. At the end, we have seen situations where lecturers will go and they will go, after exams, they will go with the script of the girl, and they go into a hotel room, and the girl will be dictating the marks he will get and so on and so forth. There are a lot of, yes, I hear things, I see things.
Yes. Have you petitioned any of the school authorities with this information you have?
Oh, not only petition. Some of the school authorities will also help to set up situations where some of these guys are caught. You will remember that a year or so ago, a professor was caught passed down in a hotel room. Do you understand? A university. He was in a hotel room, it was staged, and at the appropriate time, when the man was naked with the girl and so on, the cameras caught. It was in the internet, it was not hidden. A lot of things are happening.
These are things that needs to be corrected. But
yes.
I'd like to thank you for coming on. Onyechere is the chairman, Exam Ethics Marshals International. We'll be back after this break. Join us again.